Hello, welcome to this video on Bodhicaryavatara, chapter 6, Kshanti Paramita, verse 20. I'll read without then with the text up on the screen. Urusaratighatanye pratichanto jayantyarin te te vijayinah shurah sheshastu mritamarka. On the screen, oops, I'll try and center it for you. There we are. Urasarati ye pratichanto jayantyarin te te vijayanah shura sheshastu mritamarkaha. So ye, the relative pronoun, this is the masculine plural nominative form, meaning those who. Remember in Sanskrit you just say who, relative form, not question, relative, ye, meaning in English we'd say those who. Ye jayanti arin. Jayanti, they conquer. It's a regular verb. Let me call up iPad. There we are. There we are. So it's the root G. It's a class 1 regular verb, parasmaipada. So what happens? The I, the short I, becomes lengthened to e by guna, that's regular. So we have, it gives us this form j plus the ending anti, they conquer. So whenever you get an within the same word, remember, whenever within the same word doesn't happen in external santi, that's from one word to the next word, within the same word, wherever you've got a followed by a becomes jaya, not jaya, but jaya. That's normal regular santi. So j to jayanti is entirely regular. It just means they beat, they defeat, they conquer. And it makes the verbal noun jaya. To explain that, if you look at the from vid makes the verbal noun veda. What's happening in this vid and veda? You get this short I followed by a single consonant. And to make the verbal noun the most common way, not the only way, of course, but the most common way of forming the verbal noun is by guna of the I to e, when you're adding an a to the end, so vid, veda. So what happens with ji? It would make j a, but we don't. So j a automatically becomes jaya. So that is how we get jaya from ji. When I say automatically, it's a standard rule of internal santi in Sanskrit. E a becomes aya. And in modern Hindi, you often see it written as Jay, as in Jai Hind, victory to India. So Jaya, victory. Jay written like that simply because in the modern languages of northern India, the final a would be not pronounced. In Sanskrit, of course, always correctly pronounced Jaya in Sanskrit. So Jayanti Arin. Ari is an enemy. Those who know classical Greek, it's eri, eris in classical Greek, directly cognate, of course, with the Sanskrit ari. It's a regular noun ending in a short I, and the accusative plural is therefore arin. So Jayanti Arin, they defeat their enemies. And um, by Sandhi, the Jayanti, I'm going to change this, you see, in the analysis there. Without the Sandhi, it's Jayanti Arin, Jayantiarin. That's regular Sandhi. So they defeat their enemies. Um, so those who are Urasa arati ghatan ye pratichanto. The ye actually goes with the present participle, ye pratichanto, those who are receiving. Um, Urasa arati ghatan, the, the blows, the ghata, the blows of their enemies, urasa, with the chest. So those who receive the blows of the foe upon their chest, in other words, they aren't turning their backs or running away, they are facing into battle. The pratichati is the idea of receiving, willingly receiving the enemy's blows upon their chest. Jayantiarin, they're the ones who defeat the enemy. Okay, so uras, it's an consonantal declension word ending in as, like manas, namas, uras. So therefore the instrumental ends with a long a. So urasa, with the chest, means they receive those blows with the chest. Ghata, I've explained it below, is have I explained it below? Yes, I have. Ghata, it's our well-known root han, to hit or to kill. You'll often find where you'd expect a h, a g to come back in. That's because in an earlier form of the language, in a pre-Vedic, it was a g, a gwa, and we know that or have reconstructed the Proto-Indo-European root as gwen, which comes in as root form. The dhatu form in Vedic and Sanskrit is han, but with the g coming back in certain cases. And one of those cases is the verbal noun ghata, meaning a striking or a hitting. Remember that this verb most commonly means, as a pure verb, most commonly means to kill in Vedic and Sanskrit. But the original meaning of it was to hit. And in fact, it's cognate with our English verb to hit. Hit, hatta. Han is the root, hatta, the past participle, ghata, a hitting, a blow. So the arati or arati, it's not a very common word, and this root ra is a fairly rare verb meaning to give. Rati, again, quite a rare noun, we don't often encounter it at all. It means giving or generous or favorable. And negate that, arati, or sometimes they say arati. It's an anomaly, it should be arati, but sometimes arati would mean unfavorable or hostile and therefore an enemy. So arati ghataha, masculine, the nominative plural, arati ghata, the enemy blows, the blows delivered by the enemy. So ye pratichanto, those receiving, this is the present participle, prati ichati, so praticha, ichati means to seek or to want. Pratichati means something like, receiving into yourself, almost like willingly accepting. So those willingly accepting arati ghatan, the blows of the enemy, urasa, with the chest, jayantyarin, those who receiving the blows of the enemy with the chest defeat their enemies. Te te vijayana, They are the real heroes. So they're the real conquerors and heroes. So um, Jinnah is another word for a conqueror. Vijayin, one who conquers, with the prefix vi, has this emphatic force not only of conquering, but that of scattering apart, blowing them to bits. So Vijayana, masculine plural, they are the Vijayana Shura. How's it translate? Triumphant heroes, the victorious heroes. Te te, like those. It is they, more like emphatic. They are the ones who really are the triumphant heroes. Sheshastu, Shesha, that which remains, that which is left over, therefore everything else. Sheshastu, as for the rest, as for the remainder, masculine plural. Sheshahatu, I'll just change this to Sheshahatu to show you that without the sandhi. There we are. Sheshahatu becomes Sheshastu by sandhi. As for the rest, Mritamaraka, the killers of what is already dead. So Mrita, from root mri, to die. Call up iPad again. So we have the root mri, to die, past participle, mrita, that which is dead, which of course in Latin we have mortus, I think with W, mortus, and French mort, Spanish muerto, and so on. Mortality in English, mortal, so mrita. You can make a causative form of it, marayati. When you get a class 10 causative from the roots in a short vowel, it frequently has, most often I would say, has vriddhi. Vriddhi of ri is r, so you get marayati, literally to cause to die. This verb is also used not just for ordinary killing, but for example, putting somebody to death by way of the execution of a death sentence, for example, marayati. From that same extended root mara, you get maraka. By the way, the demon Mara just means the killer. So maraka is an agent noun from the root mri, causative form mara. So maraka just means that which a killer of something. So if you are a mrita maraka, you're a dead killer. No heroism in that. You're killing something that's already dead. So it's the receiving the blows of the enemy willingly on your chest. That's the true heroes of in this spiritual battle. If you're doing anything else, all the other efforts you make, you're just being a mritamaraka, a dead killer, a killer of what's already dead. So I will read this through again. So I can't. There we are. Urasarati ghatan ye pratichanto jayantyarin te te vijayanah shura sheshastu mritamaraka. And once more. Urasarati ghatan ye pratichanto jayantyarin te te vijayanah shura sheshastu mritamaraka. And that's it on this video.